Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Panamansa Pariprajaka Stotra Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Sridhar Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay. Cell phone check, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 15, Text 1. Tatascha Pogandavaya Shrito Vraje Babhuvatusto Pashupala Sammato Gascharyanto Shakibhi Samang Padayar Vrindavanam Punyam Ativa Chakratu. Sukadeva Goswami said, when Lord Ram and Lord Krishna attained the age of Pauganda, 6 to 10, while living in Vrindavan, the cowherd men allowed them to take up the task of tending the cows. Engaging thus in the company of their friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavan most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet. Om Jnana Timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalang Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kankshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prashabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vansha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the purport we read, Lord Krishna's spiritual body had apparently grown slightly in age and strength, so the senior men of Vrindavan, headed by Nanda Maharaj, decided to promote Krishna from the task of herding calves to the status of a regular cowherd boy. He would now take care of the full-grown cows, bulls, and oxen. Out of great affection, Nanda Maharaj had previously considered Krishna too small and immature to take care of full-grown cows and bulls. So now, the word padai indicates that Lord Krishna blessed the earth by walking on her surface with his lotus feet. The Lord wore no shoes, but walked barefoot in the forest, giving great anxiety to the girls of Vrindavan, who feared that his soft lotus feet would be injured. Tataschapo Gandhavaya Shrito Vraje. Vraje means in Vrindavan, the most confidential abode of Krishna. Pogandavaya Shrito, when they reached Poganda, 6 years old, Bhavuvatas to Pashupala Sammato, they were allowed to herd the cows. So this is revolutionary theological information. So many religious scriptures are there. God is great. God is all-powerful. God knows everything. But they would be surprised to find that that God is herding cows with his friends. Even in Vaikuntha, these things are surprising. The Lord there is worshipped with great awe and reverence. But in Vrindavan, he enjoys playing as a cowherd boy, Pashupala. Pashupala means taking care of the cows as well as the calves. Srila Jiva Goswami comments that normally it should be that the cows are in one place, the calves are in another place, but the calves were so attached to Krishna. Krishna had been herding the calves till then, and they were so attached that they also wanted to come. So now Krishna is herding the cows and the calves. And even the bulls came. Although efforts were made to prevent them, they also came. They wanted to be with Krishna. So, Pashupala Sammato. To means both of them, Krishna and Balaram. because their attachment is so strong that Krishna and Balaram wanted to play together. And sammato, they were permitted. Yes, they were permitted. That means God can't hurt his cows unless he gets permission from his father. This is Krishna. In the Shastra it said the wind is blowing out of fear of the Supreme Lord, the sun is shining out of fear of the Supreme Lord. And yet that Supreme Lord can't do anything in Vrindavan unless he gets permission. These are the loving dealings of Krishna. He is the Supreme Controller, Ishvara Parama Krishna. If we don't understand that, we'll think that these are all ordinary affairs. We won't fully appreciate what's going on here. These are ordinary affairs, or this is our mythology. But Sukadeva Goswami is not wasting time in Parikshit Maharaj's last 7 days talking about mythology. He's presenting the most confidential understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The most confidential understanding, that although he's all-powerful, he enjoys playing with his friends in this way. Sammato. So Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men, sammato, they agreed, all right, now Krishna's old enough. Before, the cows would have been too much for him. Now he's a little older, so he can do it. Babhuvatus tau pashapala sammato gascharyanto shakibhi samam padayar. And Sakibhi, with his friends. Krishna is never alone. But he's playing with Balaram, he's playing with his friends, he's enjoying with the cows. This is his transcendental play. All loving dealings, the friends everyone is servant of Krishna, but in different relationships. The friends are serving Krishna as friends. The parents, Nanda Yashoda, they're serving Krishna as superiors. So these different relationships, the cows are also in their relationship. So the cows are wandering about, and Krishna's playing with his friends of the same age. They also want to go, naturally, and be with Krishna. And Krishna wants them to be with him. And Padai Vrindavanam Punya Mativa, Vrindavanam Punya, the most pious land of Vrindavan, most sacred land of Vrindavan. Now if one goes, one may not see Vrindavan. One needs spiritual eyes. Vrindavan is there, but without spiritual eyes one won't see Vrindavan. But it's always there. Krishna is always playing with his friends in Vrindavan. Vrindavanam Punyam. And Ativa Chakratu. Krishna's, the soles of his feet have various markings. And those markings get imprinted on the dust of Vrindavan. Previously, Krishna was a little younger, so Jiva Goswami says the imprints were not so strong. But now, Ativa Ativa means the marks they were more pronounced because Krishna is big. Now he's 6 years old. So the marks are being clearly seen on the land of Vrindavan. Then Shukadev Goswami says, so this Shuklashtami Kartike tu smrita gopashtami budhai tad dinad vasudeva bhud gopapurvam tu vatsapaha. This pastime occurs on the 8th day of Shukla Paksha, the waxing moon, and so the day is known as Gopashtami, when Krishna begins his occupation as a cowherd boy. Then Shukadev Goswami describes further, Tan madhavo venum udirayan vrito gopayar grinadbhi swayasho balanvita pashun puraskritya pashavyam avishad vihartu kama kusumakaram vanam. Thus, desiring to enjoy pastimes, Lord Madhava, sounding his flute, surrounded by cowherd boys chanting his glories, and accompanied by Lord Baladev, kept the cows before him and entered the Vrindavan forest, which was full of flowers and rich with nourishment for the cows. Krishna is known as Madhava, Radha Madhava. Madhava means the husband of the goddess of fortune. Madhava also indicates spring. So this, actually now we're in the beginning of winter, the fall season. So it's the beginning of winter. Winter is coming. But when Krishna entered the forest, it became like spring. And Kusumakara, spring is also known as Kusumakara because many flowers appear in the spring. In the winter, the flowers droop, disappear. But Kusumakara. Tadmadava venum udirayan vrita. So he's playing on his flute. This is the constant companion of Lord Krishna. The Narayan never plays a flute. One couldn't imagine Narayan indulging in such things. But Krishna always has his flute. And Gopai, Vrita Gopai Grinadbhi, Swayashaha. And it's a big festival. The boys are all surrounding Krishna, chanting the glories of Krishna, Balanvita, and Lord Balaram is also there. And Pashun Puraskritya, they're expert, now they're keeping the cows in front. And Pashavyam Avishat, he enters the forest, which is just suitable for the cows, full of grass, Vihartu Kama, and the Lord desired to enjoy his pastimes in the forest. So for the non-devotees, these things can't be understood. They don't know what to make of it. Or they have their own ideas which are useless speculations. These things have to be understood through the parampara system. And evam parampara praptam. And they have to be understood by devotees. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yetarutama. The unqualified people can't even understand Bhagavad Gita. They may be great scholars, they may be great politicians, but they can't understand. They'll write a commentary, and when Krishna says, Manmana, think of me, they'll say, don't think of Krishna, think of something else. So they can't even get past the lower level class. Bhagavad Gita is introductory to understand that we're not this body, to understand that we're spiritual living beings, to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that we should surrender to Him. Mamekam Sharanam Braja. But the fools, mudha, can't understand. Duskriti. Maya Pratagyana. They can't understand. Even Bhagavad Gita, they'll write so many foolish commentaries. Although Krishna says, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjay, there's nothing superior to me. The fools will comment that yes, Krishna is a projection of the impersonal Nirakar Brahma, that there's the higher Nirakar Brahma, then there's the lower Saguna Brahma. So the impersonal is higher. Although Krishna clearly says, Kinchit asti, nothing is superior to me. But they have their own ideas, which they insert into Bhagavad Gita, covering the straightforward meaning. So such persons can't understand. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita mudhoyam nabhijanati. The fools, Krishna, it's not my word, Krishna uses this strong term, asses. These asses, these donkeys can't understand me. Because they don't take to the process to understand me. They don't come in the parampara system, they don't take shelter of a bona fide spiritual guide coming in the parampara system. They just go by their own speculations. They don't become my devotees. So for them, I'm always hidden. But bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yetarutamam. The Lord told Arjuna, you can understand because you're my devotee and you're my friend. So these are confidential topics, rahasyam yetarutamam, but you can understand them. Bhaktya mama vijanati, by devotional service. So first we have to understand who is Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, and then the more advanced course is Srimad Bhagavatam. Further development of the science of Krishna. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto is the most confidential portion. But we have to approach that 10th canto step by step, and then we'll be able to understand these things, these sublime topics of Krishna Tattva, and the science of Krishna. So, this is Krishna. Although He's the Lord of everything, His pleasure is to enjoy in the forest as a simple cowherd boy. I think we've told, you must have heard before, that Prabhupada told the story of the gentleman who came to visit, I think, Prime Minister Gladstone. And he was waiting and waiting. He had an appointment, but the prime minister is not making himself available. So the prime minister's office was open, a little crack, the door was open. So he looked in, what is this man doing? And he saw that he was on his hands and knees playing like a horse for his grandson. So although he's such a powerful man, the whole direction of the British Empire is under his control. But he's playing like a horse for his grandson. Loving dealings. So this is Krishna. He doesn't really have to do very much or do anything to take care of creation, destruction, and maintenance of this world. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaya Vashruyate Swabhavaki Jnana Balakriyacha. Krishna's energies can do all of that. And they do it automatically. They know what he wants, and they do it. It's Janurupam api yasya chacheshtate sa. So Krishna doesn't have to do anything. Natasya karyam karanam chavidyate. So his expansions take care of the universe, and he enjoys in Vrindavan. So these things are relished by the Krishna devotees. These things are relished by Krishna's devotees. And the non-devotees can't, the Mayavadis in particular, those who think that the absolute truth is impersonal, will never be able to understand or relish the pastimes of Krishna. But the devotees will appreciate. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Are there any questions? Yes.
We know Krishnastami and similarly Radhastami, now Gopastami. What is really the Astami that is more visible to the people, like why it is so important, Astami?
Gopastami, Janmashtami, the Bahulashtami, so many Ashtamis. I don't know of any particular significance. Lord Varaha appears on the Dwadasi. Nrsingadev appears on Chaturdashi. So Nityananda Prabhu appears on the Trayodashi. So really Krishna fills up all the days of the month. If we were to compile the complete calendar, every day there's something going on. And the acharyas are telling about that in their Bhagavatam commentaries. Every day there's some festival. Prabhupada said that, we have Janmashtami festival, we have the now Gopashtami. Prabhupada said we could have a festival every day. He was giving suggestions in Los Angeles, once the temple was established there, different festivals so that every weekend every Sunday, when people came, there would be a different festival. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So we're not limited to the Ashtamis. Mm-hmm.
Maharaj, I have an unrelated question. So they say that the material world is 1/4 and the spiritual world is 3/4.
Mm.
And at the same time, they also tell that in the scriptures that the souls which are in the jiva souls which are in the material world is only infinite. It's really small fraction of the overall souls. So how do we reconcile that? If it's like say less than 1%,
said that this spiritual world is 3/4 of the kingdom of God, the material world is 1/4, and that only a small number of jivas are the conditioned souls. So then why do we have such why a fourth? Why not a 16th or a 23rd or something like that? Not a question I've heard before. Small number, I won't even speculate whether 1/4 is the small number or whether there's some other explanation. I just haven't thought about it, and I don't have a speculation to offer. But in any case, this is not the section we want to be in. Anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. This, Krishna says, this world is anityam, temporary, which it obviously is, and asukam, asukam means not very happy, place of birth and death, old age and disease. How happy can that be? How happy is COVID-19? So it's obviously anityam, it's obviously a sukham. So Krishna says, just engage in devotional service to me. So this world may be whatever the proportion may be of the jivas and however all that fits together. It's just the wrong place. We were traveling yesterday. We had a program and Damodar Vilas Prabhu was driving, and we were going to the home for the program. And all of a sudden we're like in this industrial park. Instead of homes, it's all cinder, those block semi-industrial buildings. So we quickly concluded that we were in the wrong place. If we want to visit some home, it's not going to be found in the industrial park. So if we're looking for happiness, if we're looking for permanent happy life, we're not going to find it in this material world. Therefore, Krishna says, engage in service to me. Yat gadva nanivartante, then you'll never have to come back. Natad pasyate, you should go back to Godhead. Is that okay? Who has a question? Somebody there. Oh, all the way in the back. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I'm wondering if you've ever read anything about dressing up like the Cowherd boys.
I was afraid you would ask me that, or that someone would. Why does Srimati Radharani appear in this cowherd boy dress? And to tell you the truth, I do not know. Upon inquiry, I've found that this is what we do in our Krishna Balaram temple, and it's also done in other temples in Vrindavan. But exactly why? I'm sure Indradumna Maharaj knows, and there must be others who know, but I'm in the uninformed section. I don't know. But it's certainly wonderful to see such a special darshan. And Lord Jagannath and Balaram are having a good time also. They've got their cowherding ropes. Jagannath is also Krishna. Yes, another question. Oh, yes, okay. Someone's going to have to relay the question because why do we celebrate Bhishma Panchaka? Because we celebrate Bhishma. Bhishma Pitamaha, Prahlada Janaka Bhishma. His name is there in the list of the Mahajanas. Mahajana Yena Gata Sapanta. The Bhishma is among the great souls who are the exemplars of devotional service. So the last days of his life were glorious. These Bhishma Panchaka is representing the last days, because at the end, Bhishma Dev, it's described in Bhagavatam, he focuses his eyes on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and leaves this world. Ante Narayana Smriti. Every one of us is going to have to leave this world. And what will we think of? Will I think of some movie? Will I think of family members? Will I think of my business? So Bhishma Dev set the example that at the end of our life we should think of Krishna. So he's glorious, and therefore as we remember Krishna, we remember Krishna's great devotees like Bhishma Dev. In this Kartik month, so many things happen in Kartik month. So that's another feature. This month is very sacred. The Damodar Leela is there and this pastime of Bhishma Dev's quitting this world is also there. In some places in ISKCON, it's become a custom for devotees to chant Gopi Gita. Srila Prabhupada didn't introduce this, and I don't know why it's going on. There's so many prayers that could be chanted. This Bhishma Stuti is there. Not that we're only interested in the gopis, we're only interested in Ras Leela, we're only interested in these things, or we're only interested in Vrindavan. But all of Krishna's pastimes are glorious. Not only Vrindavan, not only gopis. But his pastimes with devotees like Bhishma Dev are also glorious. And Bhishma Dev's prayers, Bhishma Stuti, they're also glorious. They can be chanted. Is that all right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Shall we stop here? Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. You're good at beats. The real art, first thing we used to teach the mridanga players is that they have to listen and follow. If you just...
Hare Krishna, everybody be seated. Be seated.
No, it's not them. You're the leader. You're louder than all the rest of them put together. So you don't have to follow them, you have to follow me. But the problem is, if you're playing a fancy beat, then you can't change, right? You can't adjust because the beat is not going to finish until So you're playing fancy. It's not that fancy, but you're playing a beat, and you're like tied to the beat. And so you can't follow me because you have to follow the beat, right? That's what's actually happening. It's not that other people are making, but it's the beat. You're like a slave to the beat. So if you play simple, then you can be agile. You can easily adapt. But if you've got yourself,
No, it's big. Let's bless his father and him. Lord Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Another gift for the
what am I giving to him?
You can have gift. I don't know whether. As it's, yeah, Bhishma Panchak is starting today, as Mataji is asking question. So if anybody want to follow, today is the first day and then till Thursday. Thursday is the last day of Kartik, Damodar month, Urja Vrata. So we'll have last Rasa Purnima, that is also Kartik Purnima. So we'll have program here, Kirtan. So please join us, Damodar Ashtakam and Kirtan. So at 8:35 we do Damodar Ashtakam every Sunday. So you don't need to be in rush. So we have.
Everybody is here, so they can.
Then that will be changed. That will be changed. Anybody came first time today? Okay, thank you for coming. You get a gift. Hari Bol. Take Mahaprasadam on the other side, Ekadasi Prasadam, and come back at 8:35 for darshan and Damodar Ashtakam. Sound.